Well, welcome to the Custom Zombies podcast, Kunjora. It's a real treat to have you here.
Hello. Treat to be here.
We had some technical difficulties trying to get this started up, but we're here. We've made it. We're all safe, I'm assuming.
Yeah, hopefully. We made it out dark, bro.
Well, I just want to again, thank you for coming on. I've been watching your videos for years at this point, and you're always so entertaining to watch, especially for upcoming zombies maps. I remember back in the day, your 60-second guides were just, I needed those because I was so clueless. I didn't know how to go to the discussions to find the Easter eggs for maps.
Right.
So if it wasn't in the description, I'd be like, well, is there an Easter egg for this?
Yeah, we're cooked. Yeah. I had a lot of fun making those as well. Yeah. I thought it was a unique idea at the time for sure.
Oh, 100% a very unique idea. Like having a lot of Easter eggs for, the main Treyarch maps be like 20-minute videos, and then you just, for a custom map, you just consolidate it to 60 seconds max.
Yeah. Well, I always thought that when I watched the tutorial for most things, like not even just in zombies, just in general, the tutorials make you feel like an idiot. Like I wanted to make those for people that they play COD Zombies, okay? They know what a power switch is. Do you know what I mean? Like I thought, rather than give you a 5-minute explanation on how to turn on the power, I just say turn on the power because it's just a switch somewhere in the map, right? And I thought like people shouldn't be treated like idiots. So I thought condense it to 60 seconds. At the time, there was no such thing as YouTube Shorts either. So now there's shorts. It's more of a common thing, but back then, yeah, it was like very different.
Yeah, no, it's really nice to just like you were saying, I don't need a guide to turn power on for most maps. Like even a majority of maps, they'll indicate to you where power is. You don't really need to
exactly.
Be like, you're gonna want to from spawn run down here to buy this door.
Exactly. It's like, what's the deal with that? And also, like, I hated hearing a YouTuber who would have like a full minute and a half before the tutorial even starts, talking about commenting and subscribing and all that stuff. Fine, plug yourself, but you don't need a whole minute to do that. You can make the whole thing a minute. Half these people spent a minute just plugging themselves before getting into it, dude. I was like, nah, fuck that. Sorry, I forgot. Oh wait, no, I can swear on here, right? We established that
yeah.
On the technical,
on the technical difficulty part, we established that we can 100% swear.
Beautiful.
No, yeah, I curse like a sailor, so it'd be a bad idea if this was a no swear show.
Yeah, good.
Well, I kind of wanted to talk to you about getting into the YouTube aspect of custom zombies and why in particular you felt the need to start up with this.
Yeah, so customs, I was always inspired by Yoti Slayer, straight up, which I remember mentioning to you when we did a first draft of this little podcast here before we had the internet problems. But basically, yeah, Yoti Slayer was a big inspiration for me. His videos definitely haven't aged well by today's standards, but back then, yeah, I used to watch him religiously because I loved customs. I always did. I thought it was the coolest shit ever, and I have been around since World at War. I watched my older brother complete the World at War campaign, so even though I was like super young and probably didn't play it myself at that point in time, I was there since World at War, and I remember on YouTube seeing that there were maps that I hadn't heard of, and I was like just a kid, and I was like, the fuck? You're telling me there's more maps on World at War that are like
DLC?
Yeah, more DLC. And then obviously eventually I learned that this is made by just people. I was like, this is insane. And you start seeing some of the crazy shit that, definitely got me going as a kid, like seeing a jukebox that has like the entire Avenged Sevenfold discography and I'm like, bro, that shit's badass. Like, do you know what I mean? Having these custom guns with pulsating neons on them. I mean, I don't really like that shit now, but back then, I think there was a map called Quiz V3 or V2. It was basically like a square with loads of staircases, loads of neon lights, and the guns were insane. A massive jukebox with loads of like songs in it. It was just the most badass thing ever. And I thought, well, that's cool. I want to play it, but I couldn't. So I watched Yodi Slayer because I didn't have a PC. Family wouldn't have been able to afford one to buy me one. So I just watched Yoti Slayer. And then eventually one day I saved up enough money, got myself a gaming computer and started playing it. But in terms of the YouTube side of things, I wanted to get into it a lot earlier, but I didn't. I hesitated because I knew that to put myself on the internet, especially with a face cam, like I did with my live streams and stuff.
Mhm.
Like I needed to develop some thick skin because I was kind of like mentally preparing myself for the fact that whenever you go on the internet, you got to be ready for all the, hate comments and all of that stuff. You got to have thick skin for that. And at the time I thought, maybe I'll be a bit too sensitive. But then I did it when I felt like I grew up a bit and I had more of a thick skin and I was ready to take on, just putting myself out there. And then I just didn't get any hate. so I was like, literally, like, no, like it's weird to have jumped on, started live streaming, and literally no one started dissing me or insulting me. I mean, now I've come out and said that I'm ready for the first wave of it. Now I've said that on your podcast, but yeah, no. And then I just started streaming, and people liked my stuff, and I was like, oh, you guys like what I'm doing? Cool. Guess I stick with it, right? And here we are. I guess.
Yeah, you gotta, dude. That's really awesome. Do you remember like the first custom zombies map you played? I can tell you mine. It was on World at War, and it wasn't like Cove from Black Ops 2. It wasn't like that, but I think it was just entitled Cove or something like that.
Okay. Oh, dude, I have to think back, man. Oh, first custom zombies map I ever played. That's so hard to think back. I remember one called Warzone, and obviously this was long before COD had a Warzone game mode. It was called Nazi Zombie Warzone, and I think it was basically just this, like, you started on the beachfront and then you pushed towards like this farmland area. I remember that. I don't think it was my first, but it was probably one of my first. I don't remember exactly. I remember one as well that was like, I've actually tried to find this map since, and if anyone watching this can tell me what the map was called, I beg of you, just tell me what it was. But it was like, it was a World at War custom map. I remember there was a teleporter in it. It had like COD 4 weapons, and I remember it was the song Mad World?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a rock remix, and that was the Easter egg song for the map, but I can't remember what the map was called. So if that sounds familiar to anyone, please just let me know in the comments of this, because I have to know, please. But yeah.
I'm trying to think. I haven't played all that many World at War custom maps. I really grew up watching like Vanoss play them. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And so like I was semi in the know, but I wasn't like fully there. But you having been there for the longest time, just playing customs on World at War to Black Ops 3, have you noticed like any evolution within the zombies community in those years and up to today?
Yeah. You know what? I think a lot of the people who make, actually, take this with a grain of salt. I say a lot of the community has matured and developed more mature experiences, which I'll get into in a second. But I say that there's still like cheese cubes and fucking like meme maps, like fucking Cum City, and
you gotta love Cum City.
Gotta love Cum City. So maybe we're still in the World at War days, but like, I think about, you compare a map that essentially was just how much badass shit can we cram into one place, like that Quiz V3 map, which I mentioned earlier, which is basically just imagine an RGB keyboard as a cube that you play in with a massive jukebox and loads of guns. Sounds cool to a kid. And then as we evolve over time, you've got maps like Nightmare from, RDV and Zeroy, and was it Divine Fury?
Yeah, Divine
was that the
Fury.
3 developers? Nightmare was like, you look at a map like that, and that map's got story. It's got like these insane, the graphics within that map. Graphics aren't everything, don't get me wrong, it's all about the gameplay, right? But the visuals on that map, like, it's
got everything.
Exactly. And I think people got very creative and just a lot more advanced in seeing what you can be done in modding tools. Like, back in World at War, the pinnacle of innovation once upon a time was a jukebox, which I keep mentioning. I keep coming back to this jukebox, but the jukebox, which I think was by Tom BMX, if I remember correctly. And that was like the pinnacle of innovation. Like, you can play whatever song you want. That's so sick, right? And then eventually, fast forward, we've got these guys who are using Lua to make completely custom HUDs with animated features. You've got people who make functional drawers in maps, which people don't really understand, that making a functional draw is crazy.
Yeah, no, that's a tall task.
Yeah, exactly. People might not know that because I did actually spend some time in Radiant, so I have some knowledge on what's impressive and what's
Mm.
like relatively easy. But like, it's yeah, people have just advanced. Those were two terrible examples: a draw and some custom HUDs. It goes so much deeper than that. But my point is, if people have pushed the envelope of what can be done, and the level of innovation is higher now than it's ever been. I think. Bottom line.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a part of the new gen. I didn't start until COVID, and now I've made so many like new friends who are like, real genuine people. I've met a couple of them in real life, and I'm just
Oh,
so
cool.
grateful to have that
Yeah.
experience. And then I'll like meet all these old people who are from World at War, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, I know that guy." I'm like, "Whoa." Because it's such like a vast thing, the zombies community, and I find it
It is.
so just so wonderful. Now,
Yeah.
you did mention that you've tinkered around in Radiant. I need to talk about that. What was that
Yeah.
experience like?
Um. Well, I wanted to always be like a jack of all trades when it came to the way I deliver content.
Mhm.
Um. So, for anyone who isn't aware, the content that I do the whole thing top to bottom. And I will get to the Radiant thing, but basically,
Yeah.
the video editing I do myself, the thumbnails I do myself, the recording, everything is all done myself. I I thought, okay, how can I expand my knowledge? And previously, I used to make mod menus in the PS3 days, like with a jailbroken PS3. I used to make like my own mod
Ooh.
menus for Modern Warfare 2 and World at War.
Really?
Um, yeah,
What was that like?
it was a fun era, man. I was literally in school. I was in like year 7. I don't know what that translates to in grading in the States, but I was just literally a kid, like 13, 14 years old, maybe even younger. And I was just like, just having fun with GSC. I basically, I wasn't original. Okay. I basically just looked at someone else's mod and then studied that and edited it. And then eventually went on to make my own stuff entirely. But it was fun. Just learning how scripting works. That was my first ever experience with coding in general.
Wow.
And I just ended up making my own mod menus. And I was actually, I never released them, by the way. This was all like just for personal use. They're still on my PS3 that's on my desk. I'm looking at it right now. But yeah, I never released them. I ported a mod from PC to PS3 once. It was like this Modern Warfare 2 AI zombie mod, which was basically just Spetsnaz soldiers running towards you, and it had like a crate for a mystery box. But like someone made this mod on PC for it, and it was all GSC. It didn't require any external assets, which was really cool.
Mm.
So it was able to be ported. So I ported it to PS3. Eventually someone else did it, but I did it for myself first, and I was very proud of the fact I figured that shit out. And I was like, that's so cool. And then fast forward to when I was starting making content and I was seeing what's happening on Black Ops 3, I thought, well, if I can program, right? And I knew so many mappers who would look for a programmer because they couldn't do it themselves. I thought, well, if they can't program and I kind of can, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not the best scripter ever, far from it, in fact. But yeah, I'm definitely not. But I thought, how hard can it be to make a map? Then I opened Radiant, and then I was like, fuck me, this is so much more complicated than I imagined. I thought this was going to be like a, you know, create a couple meshes, drag and drop some textures, place some props, and to an extent it kind of is that,
I
but
mean,
it's
yeah,
so
yeah,
much
yeah.
deeper.
If you boil it down, it's
Yeah, if you boil it down, but it's so much deeper than that, especially if you want to get into the intricacies of proper detailing. Like,
Mhm.
you look at what you're developing, for example, and I think, put it this way, I spent about, I want to say about 4 hours in Radiant, maybe 4 to 8 hours watching Jaybird tutorials. And I
Oh
remember
yeah.
making one of his tutorials went over how to make a pole, like the kind of pole you'd find in a car
Oh
park,
yeah, yeah.
right? Just a pole with a little dome top, right? And I watched that and I did that, and I was like, it took me like 50 minutes to make a pole. These guys are out here making like fucking entire worlds. And I realized it was funny because I did that very early on, and that's actually what spawned my admiration for what map developers do. It really opened my eyes. It made me realize there's so much more to this than you would possibly think before opening those tools up yourself. So I just stuck to scripting, and I have made myself a couple mods actually, which are quite cool. But yeah, Radiant, not for me. So that's why I admire what you guys do. So looking at your project, man, I'm just amazed by it. I really am.
Thank you. Stop it. You don't. It's a bunch of no lifing. It's a bunch of no lifing the tools. Really,
Nah,
that's
bro. It's fire.
No, but I have such a big respect for people who can take on like GSC and scripting, because I don't get it. I do not get it in the slightest. It's quite literally, it's a foreign language to me. Like, I think I tried to get somebody to teach it to me at one point, and I made like a soul box, but I didn't know how I did it. I just know that I did do it. And I'll be on with like Fanatic, and he'll be like, okay, you're gonna want to type this in. I'm like, but how do, like, what do you mean type that in? What if I spell something wrong? And then he'll send me, just copy and paste this. And it's just it's always like the most respect for people who can script.
Yeah, I feel the same way as well, because like, even though I've done some certain things myself, like I said earlier, I'm far from, I wouldn't even say I'm very good at it, to be honest. Like, I had to take effectively lessons from one of my boys. I will mention him, of course. But basically, I was developing this mod, and then once I wanted to revise it and make a second version of it, I showed it off to Rajan. I'm sure you know Rajan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, bro, I love you, but this code is dog shit. This is this is the least efficient code. I love him for it though. I love the fact he just goes straight in and just tells you how it is. But he was like, this is the most like inefficient code I've seen. Like, this is, nah, you can't be doing this. So then he told me, like, try taking this and making it more efficient by doing this, this, and this. And he explained it to me. I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And then I got kind of confident, and I started like properly revising this mod, which I call Zombie Roulette, which I'm yet to like fully reveal the second version of it. But anyway, and I got it to a good place, and I thought, right, cool, it's time for a custom HUD. Let me just get started with learning Lua real quick. Then I was like, fuck no, absolutely not. I thought, if I know GSC, then I can know Lua. Nah. I saw Lua, and I was like, Ray, I want a custom HUD. I'ma just, can you like,
and he was like, I got help me, please. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So yeah, Lua can get in the bin as far as I'm concerned. I do not want to know about that shit. Well, but yeah, scripters are incredible. They really are, especially the versatile ones that know multiple languages.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I want to say, in terms of like Lua and GSC, I'm told, I don't know if this is true. I'm told you can do more with Lua, but to the extent of it and how easy it is, I could not know, because I use Sublime as a text editor. I know a lot. Yeah, I know a lot of people use like Virtual Studio, or is that what it is? Virtual?
You know, I know what you mean. Visual Studio.
Visual Studio. Yeah, a lot of people use that, but I've got, Sublime up, and then I'll open up a Lua file and it's in a completely different format. I'm like, oh God. Jesus.
Different language, bro. It's just, yeah. You think you know one thing, you get comfortable, and then you just get a whole other curveball. Yeah. It's the worst. But it is fun to me. I feel like it's the tale of two types of people. You got some people that look at the code and they love working to try and get it right, and you got people that love Radiant. Some people, the people that can do both, the people that do like elite level scripting and elite level mapping at the same time, I will never understand that.
No, I don't
skill
get
set.
Like,
just insane talent.
It's, I think it would be my greatest failure in life not being both proficient in scripting and mapping. Like, I can, in my opinion, I can map fairly good. I wouldn't say I'm the best, far from it.
You're
actually no, I'd put myself in like the middle echelon, if you will. But like, but if I see any, if I could script, I would love to do that, because in my mind, you could have one of the best looking maps. Like you could be Zella level of a mapper, and if there
Right.
is no like script in it, I mean it's amazing to look at, but when I play zombies, I usually need something to do.
Mm, agreed. Yeah.
What do you think your
It
favorite kind of like custom experience would be? Are you more focused on like Easter eggs, maybe survivability experience?
You know what? I've always loved the mid-size kind of, I wouldn't say compact, like super small, but like small to mid-size kind of
Mhm.
maps. And I've always liked that scale with like just an Easter egg or two. I don't go heavy on the Easter eggs in my personal experience. Like normally, if I beat an Easter egg, be it custom or standard, I'll do it once, maybe twice, and then just play the map as a survivalist because I'm a
Mm.
World at War and Black Ops 1 guy at heart. So for me, it's about, okay, how fun is it to just keep coming back and just playing this and just getting to like round 50? How fun is that? And I always found that the things that bring me most to a map are two things. One is the name of the map in capital letters, so that it's all uniform with the rest of the with the rest of the UI in the game. Don't give me none of that fucking like lowercase letters with the open brackets beta 0.05, bro. I'll
Oh
uninstall that
yeah.
shit. But the other thing as well is actually the weapons.
Mm.
Yeah, because I love when map like people decide to hop into Ape and say, "Hey, I'm gonna give this weapon a new kind of function," and some of it is GSC, some of it is just changing like its behaviors in Ape. But it's like when I pack a punch a weapon in a map and it comes out the other end of the pack a punch and it's different to what I was expecting, because I know a lot of maps. Props to Skylord. Love the fact that Skylord pretty much carried the community for the
Oh
longest
yeah.
time with regards to bringing ports of every COD under the sun.
Mhm.
Fire. But when every map uses the same ports, it does kind of detract the map for me a little bit. Like for example, the World War II ports that Sky did. Again, no disrespect to Sky, love what they've done for the community, but pretty much all of the pack a punch variants of those guns all have this like just a red dot sight or reflex sight, and it was just annoying pack a punching a Garand, an STG, a PPSH, a Thompson, and all these guns having the same attachments every time and the same damage. And it was like when I play a map and it just had the same weapons as the map before and the map before and the map before, I'm just like, eh. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
like when there's a bit of spice there.
they get a bit tiresome. I
Yeah.
I can agree to an extent. I'm not like the biggest weapon head. I just like
Okay.
to find whatever works for me. So I'll usually, if I'm playing a map, I'll usually go to the closest thing that is a commando pretty much. So if I'm playing like
Valid.
Cold War, I'll go to the MX or XM not 4, XM4?
XM4. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
XM4. If I'm playing like a Black Ops 4 custom map, I'll go to like the ICR or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Yeah.
try to find that niche in my weapons, but definitely having that diverse catalog of weapons, and especially when you pack a punch it, having that
Yeah.
different effect. That's something for my upcoming map that I'm trying to figure out. Like we have a whole spreadsheet. Be like, okay, if you
Mm.
upgrade this pistol, it'll be like a really nerfed Alistair's Folly, but it'd be cool to do that, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Just some spice. I feel like if I could think of one consistent developer where every time I've played any of their maps, the weapons have just blown me away, it's probably Hitman V.
Oh yeah.
His like, of course, granted, as he has an advantage to an extent that he just ports weapons that are just completely outside the scope of COD anyway. So
Hmm.
you got weapons from Killing Floor and Apex Legends and whatever the fuck. Like that's crazy in and of itself, right? But it's like, wait, did he have an Apex? Yeah, anyway, you know what I mean. But
Yeah,
like,
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure it was
I,
Apex.
yeah, I think I might be getting it confused there because I know Radian has ported weapons from Doom and Apex. But anyway, point is when there's weapons with just new functionality, they don't have to be completely new weapons altogether. But when they have just some new functionality, it just feels elevated to me. But yeah, ultimately, to answer your question, yeah, it's all about how many times can I hop back in this map and feel like it's engaging and fun each time and not so predictable. I think to just get to round 50.
Mhm.
But
I
yeah.
think I think it was in Rainy Death. Uh, Hitman Veer, he had ported a couple of Destiny 2 weapons, which was
Yes.
that was really fun. I'm sadly, very sadly, I'm a big Destiny 2 fan. It's very depressing, I know.
You've lost
It's
many hours to that game, then I
too
take it.
many, too many.
Yeah.
But he'd ported them, and then I knew kind of in the back of my mind that like I could get Destiny weapons inside of Black Ops 3. And
Yeah.
Fnatic and I had started work for the Noah J contest map, the Iron Hold, and we
Mm.
were like, okay, it's gonna be like a Destiny raid. Let's see if we can maybe get a couple exotics in here. And we found this big like Google Drive of almost everything from the game ported, including weapons and like models. We never ended up
Wait,
using
really?
it. Yeah, I think I could send the link somewhere. I'd have to find it again.
Yeah, that's wild.
But we found this whole thing, and we were looking at the weapons, and we downloaded. We're like, okay, what do these look like? They were not animated, and
Oh, I was
so
gonna say, yeah, were they rigged? Because that's crazy. Okay.
I can't remember if they were rigged or not. But we were looking at it, and then in just the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh my god, Hitman probably had to rig all of these himself and animate them. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
he found like a different way to get it with the animations or something. But I was like, whoa,
Or maybe he did the whole port from scratch. I don't actually know.
yeah.
But yeah, that's wild that you stumbled on that many assets just out there. That's crazy.
Still got to port those. The Iron Hold needs to be patched up. That's a real bug of a mess of a map.
Oh, so you're still planning on finishing that up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
we got it playable, but it, it it needs to just be worked on a little bit.
Mm.
A month is a really hard time to make a map.
Yeah. Yeah. I imagine, I mean, surely there's a lot of people who entered that contest with projects that were already like deep in development, right? I mean, I'm guessing technically you weren't allowed to do that, but people would have done it anyway. I'm guessing, surely.
I'm not sure of anybody who did that. I mean, maybe they did, but yeah, of my awareness, I don't think anybody has really done that, at least for this contest.
Right.
I just remember
Okay.
I just remember going on Pinterest every single day for, a month straight and being like, okay, what looks cool? I'm just gonna copy that. I don't have time to make a whole room from scratch.
Fuck's sake. But hey, if it works, right? I
Yeah.
mean, if we're still talking about the Destiny map, then yeah, like to be fair, if you're making a map themed on Destiny, especially for like a contest that like Noah's judging, I guess familiarity will be king, right? You have to
Mhm.
recognize it instantly as this is a Destiny raid.
Yeah, it was a lot more of like creative. Like we were mainly taking aspects of like certain raid mechanics and then putting our own
Mm.
spin on it to make it soloable. I guess. But that yeah, a lot of people are like, "Man, this map is hard, man. I can't beat this." I was like,
But that's the point, though, isn't it? That's a
"Yeah.
Destiny raid. Yeah.
Well,
Damn.
enough of me. Let's get let's get off of me and back to
Nah, bro,
you."
go ham. Because
Nah.
I'm still keeping my eyes on like Army of Darkness, dude. I'm still just like, I need that. I need that shit right now. Like, oh, bro, it looks so good.
I've made some decent progress. I'll send you some images, put some images on
Mm.
screen right now.
Yeah,
It's
sounds good.
a lot of stuff has been worked on. I was just working on this Blood Canyon ravine, and
Oof.
it's off in the vista, and you're never going to see it unless you use like a certain mechanic in the map.
Okay. Oh, cryptic. A certain mechanic. You
And
got some binoculars just standing
yeah.
there,
Yeah. You just go up and it's like one of those like on the coast binoculars where you just kind of
like the ones on Liberty Falls.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You
Yeah,
just put
yeah.
the quarter in and then you look out and it's like, "Oh, that's a blood
Beautiful.
ravine."
That sounds very World War II esque though, like COD World War II, like a blood ravine. Just the concept of that,
Yeah, I haven't played much World War II. There
dude.
I've done it a little bit. Are you a big fan of World War II?
I'm a massive fan of the aesthetic and the atmosphere. Like
Mm.
the vibes of COD World War II Zombies were 10 out of 10. No one can tell me different. It's a Sledgehammer with the only that was the only time I'd ever seen a studio that wasn't Treyarch bring that level of aura to zombies, and arguably surpass Treyarch actually in terms of aura in that game. But the gameplay, bro, oh god, they just dropped it so bad. Like, I hated the armor system. I hated the way the perks were renamed and functioned slightly different. There was a lot to dislike about it, but ultimately, in terms of like visually and atmospherically, bro, incredible, absolutely incredible. I still think if someone like basically made the final Reich, which I think was the launch map, if someone made the final Reich in Black Ops 3, it would have popped off so hard. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think I'll give you a little mapper insider trading information. If you're ever
Mm-hmm.
looking to port assets, World War
Yeah,
II, that's they have, in my opinion, they have the best textures, some of the best looking models. World War II, it's where it's
for
at
sure.
if you want some visuals. But yeah,
Yeah.
World War II, I played the first and second map, the Final Reich, and then the Shattered Throne or something like
I don't
that.
remember. I don't
Yeah,
remember the DLC maps at all.
I play yeah, I played those kind of fairly recently and they were a load of fun. But I don't know, you liking that game, it reminds me of Fnatic again. I keep bringing him up. He's getting a lot of publicity in this. But
There we go.
that's one of his favorite zombies games is World War II.
Yeah, it had so much potential.
I'm going to try to guess yours. You being a Black Ops 1 World at War fan, and I've seen a lot of your videos, I'm going to pin it Black Ops 1 is the all time favorite.
Yeah, hands down. If yeah, I mean, I'd only say Black Ops 3 if we're including customs in the conversation. But if we're talking solely like base game, Black Ops 1 clears by a landslide for me.
What do you think makes
So
Black Ops 1 just so enthralling to you?
because it carried the same. I'm a sucker for atmosphere, and I think Treyarch sound department back in the World at War and Black Ops 1 era was doing their best work. I think it was very immersive. It was very gritty. It was gory. It was just, and it wasn't just because I was a kid back then. Even playing them now, it's not like I'm as scared as I was back then. But I can still feel like just that ominous tone that only
Yeah,
those maps provide.
the
And I feel like
tension.
Black Ops, exactly right. And especially with the weapons and how they felt as well. Like Black Ops 1, I feel like was a continuation of World at War, but with much better animations, without all of the glitches. I mean, I still love World at War, but Black Ops 1 just felt like World at War refined.
Mhm.
And I love that. It didn't try and reinvent the wheel. It just pushed the envelope and retained what made zombies iconic in the first place. And then that's why it's my favorite. And also the attention to detail in that game, like I've talked about this in one of my videos as well. Like even how the guns felt and how they're animated, but also how they sound. Like I can't think of any other COD where when you shoot your weapon and reload it, you can actually hear like the magazine graze like some of the like parts on your vest, like your grenades and stuff. Like you hear little clinks of like
Mm.
certain contact points, and it's like that's so sick. It just adds more immersion to it for me, and I just feel like Treyarch had enough time to make something that was truly polished without any drawbacks, and that's what Black Ops 1 is to me. So I love it.
Do you feel like excited at all for Black Ops 7?
I want to be.
Mhm.
I want to be, especially as a content creator, because as someone who is a classic, this is a whole thing. I could talk about
Oh,
this bit
yeah,
for hours.
let's talk.
Okay, I want you to talk as well, though. I don't want to just be taking over the whole
Well,
thing.
this is the Kunjora episode of the Custom
Okay,
Zombies
all right,
podcast. This is all about you, man.
all right. Well, Black Ops 7. Again, as a content creator, I want to enjoy it because I want more success on content creation, and for that to happen, I want Black Ops Zombies to succeed. Good game means good content. Good content means growth, right? That's
Mhm.
the simple translation. So I'm rooting for the game. And as a Zombies fan, I feel like everyone should be rooting for Treyarch to innovate and push the envelope further. But as a classic fan, I would be lying to you if I even remotely pretend that I like modern zombies. I just don't.
Really?
Like I made a tweet. Yeah, I made a tweet saying that Black Ops 6 was the best zombies we'd had in almost a decade, and no one's ready to admit that. And I stand by it because I do think that Black Ops 6 is actually better than Black Ops 4, which some
Really?
people would some people would slam me for that, and I'm ready to be slammed.
I'll
That
slam you
sounds
right now. I'll tell
kinky.
you.
Yeah. I'm bent over, boy. Now, but yeah. I do think Black Ops 6 had a lot to love. Maybe in hindsight, now that the dust has settled, do I still feel that way? No, I'd probably put them in the same like tier. But it's the problem with modern zombies is that the mechanics just don't feel enough like the DNA of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's clearly been repurposed to appeal to a wider audience, when zombies inherently was always a niche thing, right? It was always for people who liked to play COD and watch Call of Duty do something that it was never supposed to do. That was part of the charm of it, right?
Yeah.
You know, you've got crazy shit like the Thunder Gun. The concept of the Thunder Gun back when Black Ops 1 came out is like just fucking insane for that franchise. You know, we're talking about like a franchise that started off as a World War II like hyper realistic, well, at least for the time period, kind of experience. And they've been adding crazy wacky shit with like you're able to go to the moon and fire wave guns. Like it was wild. It was like so interesting, but also grounded and dark and sinister all at once, which I love. Now, with modern zombies, not only has the atmosphere taken a backseat for the most part, anyway. Like I remember making this point in a video. I literally did a section in one of my videos a while ago where I walked through Cold War maps and Black Ops 6 maps.
Oh, I remember this. And
Yeah.
then you were looking through like the sound design of all like the different maps.
And there was like nothing there.
Yeah.
Like the sound of your gun when you reload was louder than anything else around you. And that's just like, huh? Like back in World at War and Black Ops 1 and all these classic games, you'd walk through a map and like each room almost told a story with its sound design. It was so well thought out, and sound carries atmosphere in my opinion. So it's like, I'm rambling on, but the essential part of what I'm getting at is that modern zombies is just not what zombies used to be. And I think zombies as it was is just the correct one. And that the new one is just wrong. It feels more focused towards getting as many people playing it as possible. And I think that's backed by the fact that it's become more about grinding out camos and getting challenge unlocks than it is about the actual gameplay, in my opinion. And that's the problem. Hopefully with Burst mode, that adds some excitement to Black Ops 7 for me, because apparently with the relics that you can earn, you can kind of tailor a more classic experience for yourself, bringing like aura to the maps again with that farm map. Which, what did you think of the farm beta? What did you think of that?
The farm beta, here's my thing with maps again. I like to have something to do when I'm playing a zombies map. So I enjoyed, the gunplay of it. I was really, I enjoyed the vibes. It's a pet peeve of mine, but I do not like the Dark Aether purple. I'm kind of sick of it at this point. Like, it was really cool in D Machine, and over the span of Cold War, I was just like, okay, purple.
Yeah.
And I think
that.
Props to Vanguard. They made the Dark Aether look different, at least.
I suppose, yeah, true. No one's ever said props to Vanguard before. That's fun.
No, I think that's the first time anybody has ever spoken that.
It's not a sentence that's been said for sure.
And then in Black Ops 6, I really enjoyed like the map aesthetics, but as soon as I saw in Black Ops 7, it was like, we're in the Dark Aether and it's purple. I was like, all right, that's cool. But the farm survival map, I don't think I did the round 50 Dark Ops challenge.
Okay.
But I think I got to like, 40s. I went for it, and then I lost my jug or something like that, and then like two bears and a mimic just put their fingers in my butt and I died.
Yeah. To be fair, the AI is a whole other conversation, really, isn't it? They've taken very different different plays with the AI, and a lot of people are hating the fact that Doppelgast is back, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I see what you mean about the purple dark ether thing. It has been kind of played out at this point, but I think so long as they don't bank on it for every map going forward, then cool.
Mhm.
I did like the fact that the environment was more kind of like Terminus when it came to that farm. Like in Terminus, you had certain things that would happen around the map as you open different areas. Like you'd see like a combatant fighting a zombie and before he gets eaten or something. And in farm, like when you opened the barn, you had those like zombies that were hanging that dropped and started chasing you. That was cool. And I love that kind of environmental touch that they're doing.
Mhm.
But again, to me, dialing it back, it's like it still doesn't feel enough like zombies when I hate to sound like one of those guys, but when I'm using like Warzone armor mechanics and all that stuff, like it's just, it's too easy. It holds your hand. There's like 1,000,001 ways to get out of a bad situation. It's like, oh, I have level 3 armor. Oh, I have my jug augmented. Oh, I have, healing aura or ether shroud or whatever. And that's also augmented. And I can run 1,000,000 miles an hour and reload my guns at half speed and like run around. Like you're too powerful.
Mhm.
It just makes things. And the reason why I think Modern Zombies fails for me is because I have a job. Like outside of YouTube, I have an actual job, right?
Yeah.
I work a day job. And when you're telling me that the reason why I bring that up, right, is that zombies games today is more of a question of how long can you be bothered to survive before you either exfil or quit,
Mhm.
right? Whereas back in the day, besides Shinonuma on solo, we'll ignore that. The question was, when are you going to die? Because eventually you will. And
Mhm.
that's the difference. And I feel like if you played like a public session way back when, which was quite fun to play with randoms, it was like you'd try and put on the best performance you can as a team, maybe last 2-3 hours, and then you all bleed out and you're like, oh dude, that was so much fun. Now it's like you can play just endlessly because everyone's overpowered, everyone's got their augments, everyone's got all this armor and all this shit, and then like your games will just run for so long that you're just like, right, okay, time to quit. That sucks. That sucks, man. Where's the intensity? There's no intensity anymore. And if you want some intensity, you have to whack on the rampage inducer, which even then, if you've buffed yourself up enough, it's still actually quite easy to survive on. I don't know. I'm ranting now. But Curse mode needs to make sure that we can make a classic experience, in my opinion.
Do you think curse mode will solve a lot of the issues? Because in my opinion, I think it will alleviate a bunch of issues, but there are so many core mechanics that are integral to the game that I don't think it will fully
Mm.
solve everything.
Yeah. I was asking myself this question recently, actually. So for anyone watching the podcast, you don't know what the relics do. You basically earn the ability to get what is effectively mutators from Black Ops 4 that will basically give you more options to set the game how you want it to be set, take away certain features, etc. Right now, we don't know what the relics do yet, like in terms of like what relics are available in the full release of the game. We know that there's 2 relics, one that removes the ammo caches and one that removes one that introduces a 4 perk limit, but we don't know if there's going to be a relic that will disable armor. We don't know if there's a relic that will eliminate the salvage system, because I fucking hate the salvage system. There should just be one currency, in my opinion, right?
Right.
And so I think, like you rightfully said, a lot of the stuff I dislike are core mechanics now. They're not just, like a little machine in the map that you can just quickly just make a quick scripts to enable players to take it away. These are like fundamental core principles of the gameplay loop. And so I'm not confident that Treyarch will give us the freedom to take those away, because getting to the point here, I imagined myself playing Black Ops 1, right?
Mm.
And seeing stuff drop on the floor when I killed zombies. Like now. Like, when you kill a zombie, they might drop a Semtex and some salvage and an armor plate.
Yeah.
Right? Now I'm imagining Black Ops 1 with that mechanic in place where I kill a zombie and I just see a grenade land on the floor for me to pick up and like salvage and something else. And I'm like, no, that would suck ass. That would suck straight ass. Even in Black Ops 1, that would suck ass, in my opinion. I just think it breaks, again, it breaks the immersion, dude. Like in Black Ops 1, you shot a zombie, it died. There was no hit markers. There was no 1,000 medals popping up on your screen like multi-kill, slaughter. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was none of that shit. It was like, you got the job done. Let's keep pushing, right? Now it's like big camo unlock, level 50 on your gun, fucking salvage on the floor, all that. And if that was in Black Ops 1, I wouldn't have liked the game, no matter how good the maps are. And this is the problem with Black Ops 7 is, will the curse mode let me get rid of all of that stuff? I doubt it.
I think stuff for like HUD you'll probably be able to adjust that in the settings. I know they're doing like HUD templates that I'm fairly certain are going to be a part of bundles.
Yes, probably. Yep. That's a whole other thing. You are right. You can remove the medals and stuff, but I'm just, raising that point for
no, that's it's an excellent point. It's like, sure, you can just get rid of it, but I think I would prefer it to be off, and then you could turn it on.
And even still, like, that's the ultimate question, because cool, you can turn the medals off in that, but again, my other points were the salvage dropping on the floor, the equipment dropping on the floor.
Yeah.
Can you turn those off? We don't know yet. Curse mode might, it might not. And if it doesn't, then again, the immersion is broken. And for me, it does dampen the experience. But this is the thing, bro, is that I also accept that modern zombies fans like it. And I'm not going to sit here and say they're wrong for liking it. It's fair enough. If you enjoy that, that's cool. And I see a lot of people on Twitter who are fans of like Cold War and beyond, who think that people like myself who prefer the classic stuff should just shut the fuck up. And you know what? Like, fair enough. At this point, it's been long, and they're like, just put it to rest. That kind of zombies isn't coming back. But it aggravates me, because especially knowing scripting a little bit now, without sounding too cocky, it for Treyarch to have built a game, to have facilitated an infrastructure where there was like some kind of hardcore mode or curse mode, whatever you want to call it, that has these features stripped away, it's not the hardest thing in the world to do. It's really not. So I'm hoping they've either done it or that they will do it, because why not satisfy both audiences with one game? Why not strive to do that if you can? It just makes sense, right?
No. Yeah, no, very, very well said. I think if they do like a Black Ops 8, hopefully we just do like a different game title. Maybe continue the story, but like not Black Ops 8.
Imagine if they go back to the lines as well.
Oh,
like a Black Ops 4, bro.
Oh, that'd be great.
8 lines.
But I think what I really liked about Zombies is that it was a different game. Like, everything within Call of Duty was a different game. Like, multiplayer played extremely different to Zombies, which played extremely different to Campaign, which was different to Spec Ops. Now, a lot of people call it Warzone-ification. I like to just deem it as it's just Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Call of Duty itself, like, everything kind of plays exactly like everything else. Like, when I hop into Black Ops 4 and I go play Blackout, I'm not creating a class. I'm not, making a loadout or anything. I go play a completely different game than multiplayer, and then I have to build my own weapons. When I'm dropping into Warzone, it's more so, the create a class mechanic from multiplayer, which is also in Zombies, which I haven't played any of the campaigns, so I don't know if create a class is in campaign. I can't speak on that, but
I actually think they did add that, yeah.
I knew, I think it was in Black Ops 3. Oh God, I think Black Ops 3 was the downfall of Call of Duty.
Yeah, you are right. There was that like safe house thing where you did that shit, yeah.
But it's just everything is Call of Duty now, which I think hopefully COD can take a lesson from Battlefield 6 coming out. But, having these separate modes that play completely different, like Zombies in particular, doesn't need to play like multiplayer or Warzone. You don't need to play. You can play the map and build a shield. You don't need to buy a monkey bomb from a specific place. You can hit the box, incentivize people to hit the box, to get what they want.
I fully agree. 100%. That's the best way I've heard it put. Yeah, that was the whole thing. That was their thing for the longest time. Because I remember in the marketing for Black Ops 1 and like other future Black Ops games, they marketed it like you're getting 3 experiences all in one game, like shit like that. You're not anymore. It's a very good point. It's a very good point. You're not getting 3 proper unique experiences, but that's what they used to praise. They used to make a point of saying that in the marketing. So very valid point, dude. I agree.
Well, I want to bring it back to YouTube. Enough of us, being worried about Black Ops 7. I hope to
Yeah.
God it's a fun game that people can enjoy and, get there's feedback, and then the next COD game or maybe even future DLCs, we kind of tone it back a little bit. But I think it's the base mechanics are already there. It's a little too late for this game, but I'm hoping in the future game we can solve that. But back to YouTube. I want to talk about your channel and the growth of it, because I think I started watching it. Yeah, I started with the 60-second guides, and then you went to like, the top 5 maps every once in a while. How did you expect your channel to grow as fast as it has?
Well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because it's like, yes, it kind of grew fast, but then I also killed it and then tried to bring it back and then killed it again. But there was a period where it did blow up, which was actually kind of like during I think like the second lockdown of COVID was when it really kind of started surging. I didn't expect it to. I remember one very humbling thing that happened was when I got my first donation on a live stream. It was streaming Mad Gaz's Operation Loucher map. And I remember and that was the first time I ever made any kind of, because I don't think I was a YouTube partner yet, so I wasn't getting ad revenue. And I think it was the first time I ever made any kind of money playing zombies. And it was a very humbling experience, because even though it was like $10, it was like, bro, I just made $10 playing zombies. That's so sick at the time. Bear in mind, like, this whole time I've been working a normal day job, but it's always been a dream of mine to kind of just monetize something I genuinely enjoy. Because don't get me wrong, I like my colleagues at my day job, but like, it's not what I want to do my whole life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to do this, right? But yeah, I didn't expect to gain really more than a couple thousand subs and then think that was cool and then stop. But it went beyond that. And I think it was also interesting to see bigger YouTubers give me some acknowledgement and show some respect to me there as well. So no, I didn't expect it, to be honest. I really didn't, but I'm glad it did.
Yeah. I don't know if this is like a too personal of you.
No, shoot, bro.
You've taken a couple breaks. I don't know if you want to get into that or not. Was it anything serious? Maybe like a burnout? If you had any pressure to just keep
Tons
making
of serious
things.
shit. Yeah, nah, I'm an open book. I'm not really like, but yeah. So okay, so the first big break I took was because I had to move, because I started live streaming. I wasn't really properly dedicated to YouTube at this time. It was more of just a fun little thing I did whenever I felt like it. But that's when I first got some attention. And at the time I was living in Sweden with my ex-partner. And then Brexit happened, which was basically like where the UK left the European Union. And as a result of that, it made basically work over there and fight and getting like a permanent job and shit there just infinitely harder. And so it put a strain on my relationship at that point in time. And I was basically forced to move back to England. So I did. And it was a very depressing time because I sacrificed a lot to move to Sweden in the first place. And it was basically all in vain. And so when I came back, moved back in with my mom, that was like in late 2019. And I just needed some time because it was just a bad time for me. So I barely started YouTube. I wasn't even at 1,000 subs yet, but I just took a massive gap. And then I went back onto it pretty much just as Tim Hansen noticed me.
Really?
And I was like, yeah, Tim Hansen noticed me very early on. I was surprised. But the other thing that happened then is that like I've just come back from this big move from abroad where I basically like kind of it was a good experience, but I kind of wasted like 2 years of my life and sacrificed a lot of stuff to do it. And it's like that sucked. And then I thought, okay, well, I'm back in England now. Let me hang out with my friends, and get my spirits up. So yeah, when I was in England, I thought, yeah, hang out with my friends, get my spirits up, kind of get myself amped up to go in again. And then, just as I was ready to do that, bear in mind I moved back in late 2019, COVID happened.
Yeah.
Whole country on lockdown. So I was like, okay, so I'm already depressed, and now I'm depressed in a box where I can't leave my house. Sick.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta
love it. Terrible timing. So that sucked. But that was also conveniently roughly when I started to pick up the pace, and things started going a little crazy. But then, yeah, I took other breaks, which was to do with like a certain individual in my life who fucked me over. Which I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole thing. But yeah, I got shafted effectively by a particular person, and so it threw me in like a very downward spiral. That basically I needed time out, dude. I just needed time out, and by the time I came back, like pretty much my entire momentum was dead. And this is one savage thing with YouTube is that if you take a break and try and come back, it's the YouTube algorithm is so unforgiving. And this is why you see like a lot of content creators who have actually made it pretty big in the custom sphere. You'll look through their videos and they've been uploading consistently nonstop, like every 3 days for the last like 2 years at least, without a break. Because if they take breaks before they've already made it big or made it big enough, you basically kill your channel off, which is sad, but I do it for the love of the game, basically. So that's basically the story.
Well, I'm always hyped when you come back. I think you had made a couple videos and then you were gonna do the upcoming zombies map 2, and I was like, I'm making a map.
Yeah, and what a map it is. Yeah, I remember seeing it in my DMs. I was like, damn.
I feel so bad that I told you it was gonna come out like October 2024. Oh my god, I feel terrible about that because I was like, at the rate I was going, I was like, yeah, obviously this will be done by October. But then I started like, I started just redoing rooms I'd previously done and then not getting to like new stuff, so everything would just be like hyper detailed in one specific area, and then you'd walk into another and it would just be like script textures everywhere. And I was just like, so many things were cut and so many new things were made in place of it. And yeah, I just want to let you know, I'm like, that was one of my greatest blunders, was like, yeah, it'll come out in October.
You know what's so funny about that as well? Like, I'm always defending custom map creators to people in the comments of some of those videos because, bro, people don't seem to get it, man. Like, people like yourself who make these maps are doing it for the love of the game. Like, you're not a development studio. You're one, maybe 2, 3 people tops trying to make a very, very expansive experience, like a Treyarch level experience, I'd argue, by yourselves. Granted, you could say, oh, you're using assets from other games. It's beside the point. There's so much work that goes into this shit. And it's like, they comment saying, why the fuck is this map not out yet? It's been like 3 years and you said it was... Brother, chill. Like, these are normal people who probably have jobs outside of this. This isn't their job. They're not employed by Activision. Like, just chill out. And what's really funny is that often I get flack for it as if it's my fault. I'm like, dude.
Well, Kunjora, you should have made the map faster. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, exactly. That's their attitude. I'm like, brother, you think I'm making all of this shit myself? Good God. If so, I'd be the GOAT forever, man. But yeah, nah, I think it's just a natural thing. And like, maps get canceled, maps get delayed. You know, I think about so many maps that were pushed back, and I get asked a lot by people in the comments asking where that it was like a Shadows of Evil map that was done by like, non-specific.
It was like Shadows of the Dead or
Shadows, something like that. Yeah, and a lot of people still ask like, where the hell is this map? Like, brother, life happens. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
chill out. And I think people need to have that expectation set. And I think the biggest one for me as well, that was like, if you know what, let's just put that all to one side. If there was one map that I wish released and it never did, and it still breaks my heart to this day, and that's Old London by Sir Jammy.
Oh,
Did you ever see that?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Bro, it
I
was like the most insane looking map ever, and it was like at the dawn of the mod tools. It was like 26, like 2017 or something, when 20, maybe 2018, when he put out some videos
hmm.
on it, and everyone was like, "How?" Like, this was long before people really knew how, like, properly how to do things the way that they're done now.
Yeah.
And this guy just did the most insane shit, and it never dropped. But it's I think it's because I think they work at Playground Games now, like in the Forza series, I think, if I'm
Really?
not mistaken. Yeah.
Well, that's a good reason to stop making
Yeah, I
modules
think I think they
map.
went to university and then they ended up working at a proper development studio. So props to them. Do you know what I mean? Sir Jammy, salute
Mhm.
you if you ever stumble upon this audio. Um, but yeah, like, man, I just think people need to understand that these are just people doing it for the love of the game, and they need to just stop acting like entitled people that are owed this. Like, you're not even paying for this. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, that's a whole other thing.
I wish I could get a job at a dev studio so I could stop working on my custom maps. I think that's honestly the
Mm.
goal, cuz I feel like there's a lot of pressure for me, cuz like I'll hop in on like a call with a bunch of mod tools people and like, "You working on Army of Darkness today?" I'm like, No, I'm playing Minecraft." It's like
You
it,
just feel like you need external motivation, maybe
yeah.
someone to tell you,
Yeah,
right?
some I need like a boss to just be standing right behind me, arms crossed, foot tapping. I could probably get to work then.
Yeah,
But
someone who act. Yeah, yeah. Go on.
oh no. You go ahead.
No, no, no. Go.
I was just gonna I was gonna transition into what you've recently been doing on your YouTube channel with
Yes.
the playing unreleased maps to build hype for them. Is that like taking over the upcoming zombies maps?
Nah, it's
No?
not. Yeah. The thing is about the videos that I'm doing right now is I assessed my channel and I was like, being real, I've never once been consistent on this channel ever.
Mhm.
Period. I've never been truly consistent. I've never actually followed a schedule for more than like a month before something in life happened or burnout or whatever. So I thought, I'm just gonna upload a video once every 4 days and just stick to it for as long as possible and see if I actually accelerate at a rate I'm happy with. Because I'd love to do this, spend more time on this, like
Mhm.
drop hours at my day job, or maybe eventually quit my day job altogether and just make content. And I'm never going to do that. Never going to get there if I'm not consistent. So I thought, right, to be consistent, I need to deliver constant content. And, making those top fives, making those upcoming map videos, making those, hype videos that I did, that kind of content, it just takes a lot of time to edit that, especially
Mhm.
considering like the creative process. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I do the whole thing myself. The thumbnails as well, I do. I make the renders myself with a couple of exceptions here and there, but pretty much most of my thumbnails I do the renders for. So
Wow.
a thumbnail would take me like 3 hours or so to make a thumbnail, which, considering again, I've got a day job, I have to record this stuff, get the footage, edit it, voice record it, write the script. There's so much to it. And when I'm hopping into Cordyceps and pulling assets and dragging them into Blender and texturing them and then doing all the lighting to make
Oh yeah,
one
yeah.
part of a thumbnail,
That's
then doing it again with another model for the thumbnail. And I'm just like, doing all that stuff. The only way I can be consistent is if I also introduce like playthrough videos, because they're just
Mhm.
faster to make. And so I started doing playthrough videos. And then not long after that, I just started getting DMs from people saying, "Hey, you want to play this one early?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, of course I do." Do that, and then it had like a quick snowball effect, just purely by coincidence, that one map developer would see me do an early access video, and then they would message me being, "Well, I've got a map. Do you want to play mine?" And then I do that, and then another person just slides in and like, "Hey, I've got a map. You want to do this?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sick. Everyone line up. Let's do this." um,
Perfect.
so
Love
so
that.
yeah, and I think it's I think don't get me wrong, like the views that I get on my channel at the moment are not, it's not at a level that I'm satisfied with, but
Mhm.
I've always carried this core philosophy that whatever I do, I will always mention you can go ahead and support the map creator. I've always had that. And I think there's always a sense of mutual respect between myself and custom mappers where it's like, hey, you let me play your map early. That's cool. I'm going to make sure my viewers have the knowledge that they can go ahead and show some support to you, maybe play the map early if that's something that you choose to do. And people like that. People like that. And so that's how that came about. So it's not replacing the upcoming maps thing. It's just a means for me to be able to actually deliver consistent content and stick to a schedule that I'm trying out to make sure I can see if I can actually grow my channel from here.
Well, I'm absolutely loving them. I especially really like the I forget the name of it, but it's like the multiplayer map that was turned into a zombies map.
Citadel.
Yeah, the Citadel
Yeah.
one.
Heaven TGS.
I've seen like screenshots of it, but I had never really seen gameplay, and then like watching, I was like, oh my god, this is awesome.
Incredible stuff. Really, really good stuff. And there's some good stuff coming for it as well. Like that was just a survival preview. Like they told me that there's a lot more coming for it. So yeah, very sick map.
Do you have like any map that you're just the most excited for?
There's there's a few. Yeah. There's this map that's quite cool. It's by a guy called Throwing Mold.
No, you can skip that one. You can skip that.
No, but I am excited for your map in all seriousness. But yeah, definitely two that spring to mind at the forefront of my head is definitely Bongo's Fallout map. I've been waiting for that for the longest time, man. Yeah, a lot of people have Paradise Blues. It looks incredible. What was you going to say about that?
I've seen like clips here and there, like if he posts something on Twitter, like I see very little of it, but every time I do, I'm like, oh my god,
insanity. But the other one as well is Machina.
Oh yeah,
by,
Machina.
Yeah, Deadshot and Raging. Insane. I've played it. I've not played the most recent builds because they've changed a lot of stuff since I last played it. And I've literally told Ray. Ray's been like itching to tell me certain things. I'm like, let me keep some stuff a surprise, man. I want to keep some stuff a surprise. But like, oh man, what a map. What a map. The AI that they're putting into that map, the scope of what they're doing, bro. I'm sure you've seen quite a lot of it because I think you know Ray, don't you?
Yeah.
But brother, that map. I'm just as excited, if not maybe slightly more so than Paradise Blues. I don't know, but those two maps, yeah, absolute insanity.
Every time I see something about that map, I'm just in awe. I'm like, oh my god, is it just such a beautiful looking map? The mechanics of it are so unique. It's just to die for.
Yeah. And shout out to Deadshot as well, because I believe Deadshot is the mapper for Machina. And Deadshot's come a long way, man, because I remember seeing Deadshot's earlier maps, like the one that was set in like the Shaun of the Dead pub and stuff. And like comparing their early maps to what Machina looks like, they've grown, like the growth of their mapping is insane.
When I was starting out on the mod tools, I think I was playing a few maps to get an aesthetic, or less to get an aesthetic, but more so to see how custom mappers make their maps. And Deadshot's Five Nights at Freddy's 3 was a humongous inspiration for my Evil Dead map. Like, that.
Yeah, I can kind of see that now. Now you think about it. Yeah.
That and Damned of the Moor 3.
Those
two were Dude, Alpha just dropped one of the craziest fucking maps. The teleporting in it is just so like, I was literally asking, like, how the fuck do you even do that? like what do you mean you teleport and you're in the same location but everything's different? Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, it was genius. It was a genius thing. And even if like the technical side of it actually isn't as complex as people might think it is, which I imagine it is very complex in fairness, but I don't actually quite know. But even still, the execution, it's so seamless, bro. Because we've seen maps that do it before, like to an extent. Like I remember there was a map by a I believe it was a French mapper. Oh, I'm drawing a blank here. I can't believe it. It was oh
Was
no.
it
How I always remember this stuff, but I've forgotten.
was it
It's definitely
Emox?
by it wasn't Emox. It was basically it had this kind of alternate universe in which all the perks would then be covered up and like you could access the Pack-a-Punch. I can't believe I don't remember it. The Easter egg basically has a meteor crashing down to Earth. I can't believe I'm not remembering this.
I'm trying to
It's like the
think of it.
first map. But anyway, point is, I hate the fact that I always remember the maps and the map developers, but I've forgotten. I'm sorry. But yeah, that was like the first time in a while that I'd seen a map executed that well. But yeah, Alpha's recent map, I don't even know how you do it. Maybe it is like a technical. I think my voice cut off. Yeah, even if it is a technical marvel, like I think it is. The way it's executed is just so clean.
Well, we're coming near the end of the podcast, and I just want to play a little fun game. I thought this would be a cool idea. I want to try to make the ideal custom map with you.
Okay,
So
that's fun.
I want to go
Yeah.
through
Okay.
like layout, vibes, weapons, enemies, all that stuff. I think to get it just like what would be the ultimate zombies map.
Oh, that's hard.
So
Okay.
I think
Where
let's
should we
start
start?
out. Yeah, let's start out with the layout. How do you think the layout could go? Most layouts they're in a bit of like a circle with a line through it. I think of like Kino der Toten. Uh
True.
some of them they're branching paths like Der Ries and Gorod Krovi. And then you have
Yeah.
stuff that are just sprawling like Origins and Mob of the Dead. Where do you think like the ideal layout would be?
Hmm. Oh, that's a hard one. I love the Reese's layout, actually, to be honest. If we're talking about layouts just like from inspired by previous maps, I think
Mhm.
DeReese did a really good job. Because I like the fact that it's simple, it's very easy to learn, it's not too overwhelmingly large. It's literally just like it's the right size. It's the right size. That's what she said. Um, And yeah, like I like the fact there's a bridge that crosses one path to the other. I like the fact that keeping certain doors closed offers a strategic advantage. I like when maps do that.
Mhm.
I think that's actually very important, and it's like an underrated thing to consider. Um, and I just feel like the Reese's layout just is iconic for a very good reason. Just does the job, man.
All right, we've got Der Ries for the layout. Now let's go
Hmm.
into the vibe and atmosphere. What do you think like the aesthetic of the map should be?
Hmm. I would go straight with a Final Reich inspired map
Mm.
style visually. I still say it again, man. The Final Reich, so much potential. Gameplay might not have been there, but yeah, the style, 10 out of 10 by far. Probably, I would go as far to say visually and atmospherically, the Final Reich is probably my favorite map in any zombies game.
Really?
Yes, but I still wouldn't even put it in my top 5 overall because of how, because of how let down I am from the gameplay, in my opinion. But if we're talking pure style, pure atmosphere, yeah, probably my favorite of all time. So I have to go with one at least inspired by that.
All right. Now the weapons. What are we using? Futuristic? Are we going old school? Maybe we take from a couple different games. What are you thinking?
I, you know what? If we're talking like properly making the map, how I'd love to have it. Real quick with the layout, I would expand it a little bit.
Mhm.
I've always loved the idea of Doris having more verticality, right? Like, what if
Oh,
you see how you had the major buildings on either side?
yeah.
What if there was a second floor to those buildings, right? So you see how the staircase that leads up to Jug? What if the staircase continued past Jug onto like a second floor in that building? And then like an additional bridge that led to the watchtower, if you remember where the watchtower was in the middle of the map,
Yeah, yeah.
and having like Pack-a-Punch be in the watchtower, something like that. Just a bit more verticality to Doris, maybe adding a zip line between the two sides
Oh, a
on the
zip
second
line.
floor. That
Ooh.
would have been sick. I would have slightly expanded Doris on a vertical level. I just want to make that clear. Add some traversal mechanics, would have been sick. But then weapons wise, it would be sick to pull weapons from 2 different time periods and implement an Alpha Theseus kind of inspired Damned of the Maw-esque approach. Because Damned of the Maw 3, I think, was the one where you had the time period that took you between like Cold War era and World War II era.
Yeah.
And I would do exactly that. I would have World War II weapons, but not COD World War II weapons, okay? World at War ports for me personally, maybe with updated textures, kind of like how I know Zila isn't he like redoing the Black Ops 2 weapons?
Yeah, I think
pretty much remodeling them.
Remodeling them, yeah.
Yeah, remodeling, retexturing. Take that kind of same love to the weapon roster in World at War. Mystery box weapons and all, flamethrower. Because, okay, I'm not going to go on too much of a tangent, but the World at War weapon variety was just goated, man. The fact you could have a flamethrower as well as like semi-automatic rifles, you know, your assault rifles, your SMGs, your shotguns. There was a nice variety. You had an anti-tank rifle with the PTRS. Like, there's so much to love.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, that should be in the World War II era. And then there should be some kind of, I've got it, side Easter egg where you can overload the teleporter with the Wunderwaffe, like in the lore that took the characters to Kino de Toten. You do that, and then you end up in the Cold War era with Cold War weapons. That would be how I'd do it.
I like that. Oh, okay. Now we're cooking.
Yeah, now we're cooking. Let's also say the World War II era has the final Reich aesthetic, and then maybe the Cold War era has an aesthetic from a different kind of game, because obviously a lot of time has passed, so it's not going to look exactly the same. So maybe something a little different there. I'm not quite sure exactly what, but
I would kind of like if we're going like a World War II, but it's based off of like Deriz, like maybe we go like Gorod Krovy sort of a thing where it's just a bit in the future, but it's like they've turned it all into like, or it's like all turned into rubble and everything is just kind of broken.
You mean in like the Cold War alternate reality for it?
Yeah.
That would be sick. Yeah. It could be like after they've contained the outbreak by basically demolishing the fuck out of it. That could be sick. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now perks. What kind of perks are we putting in this map? Maybe like perk systems, like more modern, more old school perk system. No mule kick. Okay.
Mule kick banned.
Real quick with that. No mule kick. We'll put it outside the map. It'll be the power's turned off. Nice little Mob of the Dead reference.
That's it. We'll do exactly what Treyarch did. Yeah, no, okay, yeah. To answer your question, I think gotta go with the classic 4. That's a must. Absolutely. Classic. My favorite set of perks has always been the classic 4 with PhD and stamina.
It's a good combo.
As it is. It's just a great set of perks. I would go with Double Tap 2.0, even though I do love the fact that 1.0 doesn't buff weapons. I'll still have Double Tap 2.0. I'm open to your thoughts on this one, to be fair. Like maybe Widow's Wine. I don't know if I fuck with Widow's Wine.
I enjoy Widow's Wine. It's cool.
See, it's cool, but I don't know if I agree with it replacing the grenades. I've never liked how the grenades are like the indicator of your hit count. I don't really. I mean, I get it from a gameplay perspective. It makes sense. Like the way grenades replenish, mimicking how many hits you can take, makes sense from a gameplay perspective. But it just felt weird to me. But I think, yeah, for perks, as long as I've got the original 4 with stamina up and PhD, I don't want to overdo it with the perks. I don't want it to be like, you know, like the Rust Zombies map that has like a bajillion perks. Like, I don't want to be too overpowered. I think it should be kept minimal. So maybe those 6 perks, and maybe, I don't know, what do you think should be the 7th perk? I think there should be a 7th perk.
I my go-to, Electric Cherry. I always run it.
Based. Yeah, that's cool. Electric Cherry with the machine. Yeah.
Are we adding a perk limit?
Perk limit of 5 with a side Easter egg to expand it to 6 and then leave it at that.
Okay. I like that. All right.
Yeah.
Now let's go enemy types. We're going to have our classic zombies, but what do you think would be cool, like mini boss sort of a thing that'll come in every round, every few rounds? We doing like hellhounds? Are we going to do
Yeah.
hellhounds and a Brutus? Like, what are we thinking?
I'm thinking completely different AI types depending on the era you're in.
Mm.
So we've obviously got zombies consistently. That's obvious. But then I'm thinking for the World War II era of this like Doris that we've got, we'll have Hellhounds be the special round. Yeah, obviously. We'll have I think a cool mini boss that I'd love to see would be basically something that functions like the Shrieker from Shangri-La, but with the model of the pest from World War II.
Interesting.
I think, or maybe slightly edited to look more shriekery. I don't know. Do you remember the Shrieker on Shang?
Yeah,
I
I
actually
know
kind of
I
miss
know
it.
the Shrieker on Shang. I don't know about the pest on World War II. It's the dudes with no
The
arms
special
that
round.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe not quite like that, but I would probably bring something like that. I miss the Shrieker. I feel like it was a unique AI type that just hasn't ever come back, and I miss that. Um, so I'd bring the Shrieker in to some degree and just not have the Shrieker model because in the context of that map, it just wouldn't make sense. And then I'd also try and have ported what's the name of the guy? The guy in the Final Reich, the big armored dude who's fucking terrifying. What's his name
Oh
again?
shit. You're asking the wrong person.
Ah, dude. Have I forgotten? World War II bosses, zombies. Type it real quick. Go, go, go.
I'm moving.
The whistling.
The Wussling.
Yeah, the guy who's like. Should I just show you a picture? Would it be easier if I show you a picture?
Oh no, I see it. I've got it
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah. Bring that in as well. And make him even stronger. Buff him. Buff him. I love that. So that and the Shrieker at the same time would be really cool because the whistling moves kind of slowly, at least at first, until he charges. But I think like that would be contrasted quite well by the Shrieker because the Shrieker could slow you down and then that'll make it even more ominous when that dude's slowly walking towards you, but you're kind of impaired. It's like, bro, that would be tense. That would be so sick. And then in the Cold War era would be different AI types. We would not have the Hellhound rounds. We'd probably replace those with
Like
I don't know
plague
what
hounds
special round.
or something like that, or are we not
Maybe
doing like
scrap hounds altogether. Yeah,
scrap
maybe
hounds?
do like. Would be cool to see something completely new. I don't know.
I don't know. The only thing I'm thinking, are we still? Is it still going to be like a max ammo sort of a round?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe like the parasites or the meatballs, but those don't. I don't think they would really fit the aesthetic of
Yeah.
the Cold
That's a
War
tricky
era.
one. Yeah. I feel like there is an answer somewhere. Maybe like a Nova crawler round, but like have them cracked. I'm describing jumping jacks. Is what I'm describing.
Yeah, just
I'm basically
the
describing the jumping
in there.
jacks from Die Rise. You know what? I'd probably just vote for that. Fuck it. Just make that be the Cold War round. And then the general bosses, the Whistling and the Shrieker, wouldn't be present in this era. So it would be maybe. You know what? Actually, maybe the Megaton from Cold War. I actually think that's an underrated boss. I like the Megaton from Cold War.
The Megaton.
Yeah, I would have that, and I'd probably also have one more boss zombie that spawns. I like the idea of having two different boss zombies. I think what's one from Black Ops 6 that's good? Definitely not the. Yeah, no, just scrap that.
I quite like the
Amalgam, maybe.
Is it? Yeah, I was thinking Amalgam. Honestly, I don't mind it's not the Mimic. What's the other one that was introduced on Citadel?
Citadel. That was
the
the
Doppelgast.
That was the Doppelgast. Yeah.
I don't mind. I actually quite like the Doppelgast. I like how it just fucking sprints through the map real fast.
Yeah. I like it too, but a lot of people seem to hate that it's in Black Ops 7. But yeah, I mean that would be cool. That'll the what's his name that I just mentioned?
The Megaton.
No, not the Megaton. We will have the Megaton. It was also the I literally just said his name, Amalgam.
Oh, Amalgam. Yeah.
Those two.
Oh shit.
That'd be cold. That would
Yeah,
be
I
cool.
think
So yeah,
okay,
that's
so
my AI type.
Megaton and Amalgam. I like it, I like it. Alright,
Mm.
now let's go points. How are we dishing out points? Are we doing kind of like the classic? Are we going a little
Oh,
bit more
classic.
Black Ops 4? Classic, okay.
Nah, classic. Done. Simple.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Gotta be done. That's the one.
Are we gonna have some sort of like a shield on our back? We gonna have some like no armor at all? Like what are we thinking for this?
Mm. You can craft the shield in the Cold War era exclusively. Yeah.
Ah.
And it would just be like, I don't know, the Origin shield. Doesn't need to be special.
Mhm.
It definitely shouldn't have a rocket on it, like the one from Shadows. I never liked that. Get rid of the rocket. Origin shield, yeah. Origin shield in the Cold War era.
We could do a thing where we can get like the Zetsubo shield. Maybe the Cold War era is a bit overgrown, so you have like the shield with all the vines on it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I think we're really
Yeah.
just making Damned to the More again. I think that's what
Definitely Damned to the More inspired, but I feel like, yeah, with that World War II tone, yeah,
Mhm.
there's a lot. Yeah. I'm imagining this map and I'm getting excited, especially if you did the whole thing with the Derice second floor and the zip line between them and shit like that. Would have
Yeah.
been cold. Yeah.
All right. Now our final option, the Easter
Hmm.
egg. Are we having a little small one, big one? How many steps we thinking?
You know what? An Easter egg that I really loved was conveniently the Derice declassified one. I think that was really well made. That one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
liked. Did you play it?
I've never beaten it.
Did,
I've played it like 3 times and I keep
okay.
dying at like the escort step.
Right. Yeah. To be fair, without certain weapons, that is very hard. Um, what I loved about the Derice declassified Easter egg is that it had a lot of story elements. Um, and I love the way that was done and the way that was executed. It's hard to describe if you haven't seen it yourself, but basically with each step that you do, you almost get like an in-game cutscene, not
Oh yeah,
literally
like the
a cutscene, but
flashbacks.
yeah. Right. So you have seen it. So yeah, that stuff was so cool. I don't really know how it will fit in the context of this map, but I think maybe just having fun, like underground bits of lore from COD Zombies kind of be featured in the Easter egg in some way. But even if we take aside the story elements, just that kind of level of complexity, because the complexity of that Easter egg is not extreme. It's the kind of Easter egg I can believe that someone did actually solve it eventually without actually needing to look it up.
Mhm.
Might have taken a bit of time, but I like Easter eggs where a guide isn't your only option. Like you can go ahead, experiment a bit, and you can probably work it out eventually. And I like Easter eggs that do that because I think Easter eggs where it's so unbelievably complicated, I hate it. It just
Yeah.
makes me not want to do it. And I also think whatever Easter egg is made for the map, it should not be the kind of Easter egg where you have to spend most of the time looking for parts to interact with. I hate that shit.
Mm.
Make it stop.
So I say more of like a linear experience where something
Yeah.
happens, then you can visually see where something goes, you follow it, and then
Yeah.
it's just very obvious what the next step is, but it's not so hand holding as to where
Correct.
you're just being taken on a amusement park ride.
Yeah. That's how I'd want it to be personally. Yeah.
All right, I forgot the final. I thought the Easter egg was the final thing. I forgot the actual true final thing. The wonder weapon or wonder weapons.
hmm. Okay. Okay. Wonder weapon or wonder weapons. We would have the Wunderwaffe
Have the wonder
because I
waff?
fucking love the Wunderwaffe.
Me
Yeah.
too. It's
And
one of my favorites.
it's so iconic, dude. I would buff it. I would make it chain more than 10. I'd make it chain maybe 16.
16. Okay.
I would actually use the Vanguard Wunderwaffe, believe it or not.
The Vanguard
I
one,
actually,
yeah, that one's really nice. I actually love the animations on that. Another thing
yeah,
Vanguard did right
right,
was the
exactly.
wonder
It
waff.
actually was a sick Wunderwaffe. I loved it. The only thing I didn't like about the Vanguard Wunderwaffe was that it didn't start the chain reaction if you shot the floor, which
Really?
I think, yeah, it's the only one that didn't do it. The only one. I actually made a video talking about the history of the Wunderwaffe, and I spent ages properly experimenting. Yeah, it's the only Wunderwaffe where if you shoot the floor next to a zombie, it just doesn't count.
Huh.
You have to make contact. But yeah, obviously have normal Wunderwaffe functionality, but it would be the Vanguard model with the Vanguard effects and the Vanguard animations.
I'm
But
assuming
I
we're
would want a
gonna.
second one.
I'm
Go on.
assuming. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm
No,
assuming
you
that
go.
we're gonna add the ray gun in here. Are we thinking ray gun
Yeah.
Mark II?
Hot take, I never liked the Raygun Mark II.
Ooh.
I never really liked it. I feel like it's cool, yes. And okay, credit to Black Ops 4 here, because I love the alternate Raygun Mark IIs from Alpha Omega. I think that shit slapped. The map wasn't great, but the ray guns were sick. The Akimbo ones, especially, that shit was so sick. In fact, if I had it my way, the standard ray gun Mark IIs would have been the Akimbo ones from Black Ops 4. That would have just been the Mark II from the start.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's so cool when they're Akimbo, dude. Plus, it's just a fun, Mark II. I've got two of them, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think we would have the ray gun. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, we'll have the Wunderwaffe, we'll have the ray gun Mark 1, and we'll have the ray gun Mark II Akimbo just be the normal one.
It'd be cool to get the ray gun Mark II specifically from the box if you are in the Cold War area.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly, because we've already got that in place, right? The different eras have different weapons, including the mystery box functionality. So yeah, I agree with that. It should be Mark 1 in World War II, Wunderwaffe in World War II, and then so those are the two in the World War II era, and then there'll be two in the Cold War era. One of them is the Mark II Akimbo, and then the last one. I feel like there's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good ones.
There's a bunch. It was actually when we were working on the Iron Hold, we were like, oh god, what weapons are we gonna make exotics? There is so many amazing ones.
Yeah.
I'm in favor. I'm very biased here. I love the Blundergat.
I've got an idea too. Blundergat. Okay.
But I don't know how much it would fit in the Cold War aesthetic, but anytime there's like a beefy shotgun, I am there.
True. I do love a beefy shotgun. I used to main the sword off in Varux, but yeah. That's an idea. Or if we're going with that theme of the overgrown, like Darius post like getting fucked up vibe, the Beam Smasher from Black Ops 6 actually makes sense, because the Beam Smasher has like a little plant in the fucking, I think it's a plant, right? Let me have a look.
Yeah, I think it's like a little, I don't know, the yellow orb thing that you plug into the side. I barely certain it's a plant.
It's like a crystallized plant of some kind. I mean, I'll send a picture in the DM real quick. That makes sense in the context of like of an overgrown map. I actually think the Beam Smash is quite cool in functionality as well. I like the fact you use the alt fire to slow them down and weaken them, and then spray with the beam. I think that in the context of the Cold War one actually would be good, and maybe make it be a side Easter egg to unlock that one.
Oh yeah, like
rather than it being in the box.
A nice buildable thing where you can find maybe certain parts in the World War II area, but like maybe the final part you have to be in the future to.
That's a sick idea. I love that. That would be perfect. That's my perfect map right there.
Dude, that is a great map. Oh my god. I kind of want to make it, but I've got too many projects. I thought this would just be like a little fun thing, but like, oh shit, that's actually dope as hell.
Would be sick. The only problem is if we actually like base the layout on Darius and do that whole second floor thing, there has been like a lot of Dariuses on the workshop, to be fair. We had like,
well, I'm just thinking it wouldn't need to be like a complete Darius overhaul. Like we could it would just be kind of the same flow as Darius. Like you can go left, you can go right, meet back up in the middle, sort of a thing. But
yeah, exactly. True. Very true.
Yeah, I think ooh. Nah, I'm just excited now. Okay.
Okay. First gonna start cooking that shit.
Oh god.
Fire.
I'm never gonna play this game with any future guests, because now I'm gonna get ideas, bro.
It's dangerous, bro. That's the other thing. I speak to so many mappers and they've got so many projects that they want to do, but time is just not on their side. Like I've spoken to Ray so many times about things that he's like, I've got this idea for this. I'm like, that's the sickest idea ever. But do you have the time to make it? No.
Yeah. No, it's always a struggle, but
yeah.
I mean, I've had just the most wonderful time with you on the show.
It's been a blast, dude.
Thank you so much for coming out. I really, this is unspeakable. I can't believe how happy I am.
Pleasure's mine. Pleasure's mine, man. I'm truly grateful to be here. It's mutual. I feel great about it.
I hope you all enjoyed listening to this, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Bye bye.